Hello everyone, it's Lydia and I have a project share today. So this is a DT project for my paper passion. I will add a link down below to Nat's Exhibit Shop where you will find beautiful laces, embellishments, trims and more at affordable prices. And right now Nat's having 10% off store-wide sale. So take a peek. She's slashing prices on her already fabulous priced embellishments and such. So I created another mini cute little scrapbook mini album, and here are some of the items that I used. I used Teresa Vintage Finds, and I found this one at the expo, and I was drawn not only to the pretty vintage colors but to the little bingo word cards, which I love. And I pretty much used up the entire pad, and the mini album measures 6 inches tall by 5.5 wide is the cover, and then the pages inside are 6 by 5. So they're ½ inch smaller, the pages inside the mini albums. Front and back covers, I used cereal boxes. Recycle, and here are some of the cards, the cute little bingo word cards pages, and these are great because you can use them for anything, for your altered boxes, your handmade cards, any project where you need like a title. These are perfect. So I use those, and here's some more word that I saved, and then it has this page here with all these tiny words, and I'm thinking, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try cutting these out carefully and using them in my bottle cap charms. So we'll see how that goes. I also used some doilies from Martha Stewart, some from Melissa Francis, ephemera paper packs from Glitz. These are paper layers. It's called Hello Friends. They had really pretty. I love this owl one. I used it in my mini album. And I used some ephemera from K&Company. And I'm trying to find a name on here, but I don't see anything. 2 of each design. And this is Julianne Vintage, it's called. And then I love these Whatnots by Glitz. These are beautiful. I'm gonna see if I can find more. I used the vintage blue paper pack, and it has gorgeous vintage images. You can see some here, and they're in color. Like the back doesn't show you in color, but. And then this is Whatnot in Laced with Grace. That looks like Romeo and Juliet. Really pretty vintage images on these. And then my binder rings, I used the Cinch in 1-inch gold. So let's get started on my mini, so this video is not super long. Okay, so here's what it looks like, my cover. And on the binder rings here, I used these gorgeous laces from Nat's shop, my paper passion. I used this one, and this pretty little dainty crochet one, and then this really cute little flower one. Isn't that adorable? This is like a really pale yellow with white centers. And then Cynthia, the Scrappy Bookworm one. Hi Cynthia. She had created this charm for me and sent it to me in a rack a long time ago. She's got a hanger here and some ribbon, lace, and a bottle cap, and she added this pretty little clock here. She did the clock hands with a brad. I'm going to link Cynthia down below. And she added these pretty little danglies. She has a clip here that she papered, and a clock hand and a bead. Isn't that pretty? So I added that there, and then on my cover I have a Sizzix camera die cut in black, and then here's one of the cards, little bingo word cards. Gorgeous white lace from Nat's shop, and then this really pretty flower that's all raggedy that was created and sent to me by Lyric Lover. I think her numbers are 810. Isn't that pretty? But I just thought the colors matched well with the vintage papers. And she just has like a bunch of little scraps of leftover burlap and tulle and laces. And she just puts them all together and then tops it with a button. Isn't that pretty? All right, let's go inside. So my first page, the pocket page, and here's one of the bingo cards. I used a bunch of these little foam flowers that Manzi11 Crafty Cat sent me in a rack. Hi, Manzi, thank you. And I put a little gem piece on here, and then I just have a couple of tags. And I use a Sizzix die for these. and the paper from the collection. This is a random print that I had in my ephemera box that I printed a while back. And then I just have like a vintage button and this cute little piece there. That goes in there, and then I added lace here from Nat's shop. And here it says right now. I stamped beautiful. If you want to know what any of the stamps are, guys, just, you know the drill. Post a comment and I will let you know down below. This is some vellum that my sister gave me, and it has these really pretty embossed flowers, hearts, I'm sorry. I don't know if you can see them. It has these beautiful embossed hearts on it. And then with the paper, I just made a little tab there and stapled it. And my next page, I have a pretty foam butterfly that I received from Mandy. And I just added this cute little bling piece that I received from Muller H. And I love this page here with the clocks, and it says vintage on it. And here I added a little paper bag and a little tag from my stash and more ribbon from Nat's shop. And then I stamped this cute little bee. And here's another word card, Charming. And I made a little tuck spot. I just fussy cut this from the paper collection. Really love these papers, so pretty. Look at this design here, so beautiful. Just add a photo right there. And here's a little white tag, and I just added more trim from Nat's shop, paper from the collection, and a brad from my stash. And here I stamped a promise to, and I did some edge punching here with an EK Success, and I distressed all of my pages in vintage photo. Here's another stamp, that's Prima. More gorgeous trim from Nat's shop. This is like oh, what is this? Like a tulle, but it has these tiny little gold sequins that go all the way across. I hope you can see this ribbon because it's really, really beautiful. So that's from Nat's shop. And then here's another ephemera piece where you can circle the date and write the month and the year. And this is just a random star, sparkly star that I had laying on my desk, and I just glued it there. Here's a side pocket page, more trim from Nat's shop. I like doing that, just cutting a little snippet and gluing it there, or using my leftovers. And here I have a flat back, and then more cards for journaling. This one says True Story, and I have a postcard, and these all tuck in there. Next page, I just added this pretty Maya Road little journal ticket. This is a postcard that I had in my stash, and I just like the print and bicycle. Isn't that cute? I'll just put that there. Stamped proof, that's 7 Gypsies. This is the recollections piece. And over here I dropped this entire piece on top of my pad, my stamp pad, and I didn't throw it out. I'm like, I just kept it in there. Why not? Nothing wrong with it. You can still journal on it. And a punch out, Martha Stewart punch out, butterfly. Stamped this cute little bird on here, and here I fashioned a banner. This little tuck spot, and I inked the edges against some corner punching. Stamped postcard, I believe that's a Prima stamp. I love this page too. Look how pretty this is. It has the bingo card image and music notes. And then here I just had this piece laying on my desk. Little oval piece that I put there. That's from craft paper. Humongous tag that I cut to fit, and added some designer paper and more beautiful trims from Nat's shop. This pretty black flat pom-pom trim. And then I tucked in another little bingo card that says home. And then here I just did a tuck spot with the paper doily. And I love this print script paper flashcard. And here I just taped this in the corner here to make a little corner pocket. And then I have this her side, his side. This is from Life Stories, My Mind's Eye. And here are some die cut pieces from Sizzix. That's the inkwell and feather. And another bingo word card that says gratitude. There's a little paper bag where she can tuck goodies into another foam flower. And here I punched a butterfly, Martha Stewart. And here's another journal spot. And here I have a little mini folder and another bingo word card. Another one, love, music note paper. This is also, these are all prints from the paper collection. Here's the Baroque die. And you can journal or add photos here. Here's the Martha Stewart heart punch out. And here's another Sizzix die, the clock. I think that's weathered clock. And I tucked in another word, bingo word card, time. I have a little coin envelope here and a small tag, and I stamped a watch on there and added a brad from my collection. This is a Martha Stewart punch. It's really weird. It just cuts like your paper in the shape of the flower. It doesn't cut all the way through. When I first got this punch, I thought it was broken, and my sister told me, look it up online, and it just does this. Let me show you the punch. Where is it? I just had it here. Where are you? Oh, here it is. It looks like this. And then here's the back. And there's the mechanism in there. And you just cut, but it doesn't cut all the way through. It's so weird. I rarely use it, but I used it this time. And it looks like this from the back. Isn't that pretty, though? And here I have a little brown envelope, and I just added another bingo word card that says life, and then this pretty bling butterfly is from Nat's shop, and it comes on a strand, and you could use it as a strand or individually. I just cut it off. And here's that pretty owl from, I think this is the Glitz ephemera pack, lined paper. Isn't he cute? He's adorable. And another little piece here that I had left over sitting on my desk. That's a Prima little typewriter image. And more ephemera. And here's another little bingo word card. Here I punched out of the music note paper another heart. And I just ripped the edges on this cardstock and added some distress ink. And here's a royal typewriter stamp. And here's a little envelope and another bingo card that says blessed. This one says friends. Here's a book page, Alice in Wonderland. And I have some washi here and cut the paper with the heart punch, Martha Stewart. There's a little paper doily and more beautiful lace that I edged here from Nat's shop. Side pocket, and these were note cards, and I just used my Tim Holtz tag die to create these. Added another foam flower and a vintage button, and then here I added that really pretty yellow floral lace from Nat's shop, and you can use it like this or individually. Like right here, I just snipped off a piece and added it here to this script stamp that I have. Again, edge punch, distress ink, and another stamp, pretty butterfly. Love this paper. And here's my last page. It's a pocket page, and I added this gorgeous trim from Nat's shop. This flower that I handmade. I sound weird. I think I'm catching a cold. This flower that I created with a Sizzix die, and I added a button there. And then I have a library card. Thank you, Karen, for these that I distressed, and I just added a little tab here with some paper from the collection. And then here's another ephemera little journal spot, or it could be a frame. You can add a photo there. And let me show you the back of my little mini album. Looks like this, and I just added my signature. Isn't that super cute? And then I made a quick little tag card to go with, and this was inspired by Cynthia, the Scrappy Bookworm, and Tammy, SS Crafter One. And this is a tag made with the corrugated envelopes. And I did some embossing here, and then I added some paper and another one of those word bingo cards. These flowers are from Craft Supplies 1, and then I have beautiful butterfly from Nat's shop and more laces from her store. And then on the inside I just papered it. It's ready for my message, and I just have to write my info on the back. So that's my project share, guys. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Post a comment if you wish, subscribe, and have a fabulous day. Bye.